Hi everybody, it's Don, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, if you hear the fog go off during this video, it's because we're deep into a fog bank today. So the ship is ringing out a warning that, hey, there's a big ship out here, and we're traveling pretty slowly as we're doing it. But I need to tell you a little story because we had a medical emergency on board in the group. And yeah, people ended up in hospital in Juneau. Today's video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. Well, many of you may know that I am a pretty big movie buff. I go to the movies almost every single week. I see everything that's coming out new, and I follow all these Netflix series, and I follow all these Hulu series, etc. And when I'm traveling, I run into a problem because sometimes when I'm out there, I cannot get the movies that I want to watch or the shows that I want to watch because it's blocked in that country. So what do? Well, I log into my Private Internet Access VPN and I switch on Canada and bam, now the computer thinks or the TV thinks that I'm in Canada and I can now watch my shows. That's just one of the little benefits of having a VPN when you're traveling around the world, like I am next month when I go to Africa and Europe, etc. I will still be able to see all my shows. And that's besides the VPN hiding your IP address from potential hackers and people who want to steal your information, who want to hack into your accounts, get into your credit cards, get into your bank accounts. The VPN is one of the safest and biggest protection against getting that information taken from you. And that's a huge reason as well to have private internet access. Now, why did I choose private internet access? Well, for one thing, I can do unlimited devices. Not one, not two, not 10, unlimited. I can do a phone. I can do my laptop computer when I travel. I can do my office computer. I can do my home computer. I can do all these devices at the same cost under the same plan. Not only that, they have a no log policy, which means they're not storing my information that can be hacked at a future date, and that's been proven in court by a third-party audit. So if you'd like to try private internet access, why not follow my link down below? You can get up to 83% off your subscription plus 4 months free. Thanks again to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video. So, on the way into Juneau, I got after breakfast and I received a message on my phone that one of our group was having difficulties and was down in medical emergency. And they left their cabin number with me and everything. It was a mother-daughter team. And so I immediately went down to the cabin, and the daughter was there packing up because the mother was going to be transferred over to the Juneau hospital, and she was having an infection in her lungs. Very, very near and dear to my heart right now. As that's what I literally just went through. Now, obviously, on a cruise ship, they're prepared for a lot of things, but they're not necessarily prepared for, like, lung infections, right? The proper medication and intravenous and shots for stuff like that. So, she was going to be transferred the minute we arrived in Juneau, and the daughter was there packing, and then her and I went down to visit the mother. And, you know, it's such a sweet family. And I went down because I wanted to give her all the encouragement I possibly could and tell her that anything at all they need whatsoever, that I'm 100% available. If they needed me to go to the hospital with them, I would. And anything at all that they need, double-checked immediately that they had cruise insurance. And they did kind of like what I did. They had the cruise insurance from a cruise, from a private, and they had the cruise insurance on the Princess. So they were double covered. The doctors were very, very good, and the ship handled everything beautifully. The crew here were amazing. They got her to the hospital, and that was the same day I had my evening whale watching tour. So Tony and I were going to be gone in the evening. Now, if they wanted me to stay and go to Juneau and go to the hospital with them, I would have. But they said, no, don't worry about it. You know, the daughter was all set and she had her passports and all the information they needed. They were very well organized, really, really well organized, which I really did appreciate that they were all set up that way. Some people are really nervous when something happens, but they seem to have things really under control. And so the minute I stepped back on the ship, I immediately went down to medical services and they were closed. So I kind of thought that that's probably a good sign, because if there was somebody still in there under observation, they wouldn't be closed. You'd be able to ring the bell and get somebody there to see you. So I quickly went up to guest services and I said, okay, I'm looking for this cabin, gave the number and everything. I said they had a medical emergency today and they were brought to the Juneau Hospital. I want to know if one or both were able to get back on board. And I was very happy to hear that they were both able to get back on board. They were able to immediately give the proper medication, gave her some medication for on the ship. They were able to fill out. And in fact, she was at dinner the next night with everybody. And if you had saw her the day before on the way to Juneau in the hospital bed there in the infirmary here, you would have said, like people said to me when you saw me in the hospital doing my videos from the hospital, oh, there's no way they're getting back on the cruise ship. And it kind of looked like that when I was able to meet her in the infirmary. So I was extremely, extremely happy to see them both at dinner. She was up and walking even. They have the scooter and all that, but she was able to walk from table to table, and I gave her a big hug when I saw her, and was so glad to see both of them there. And they're enjoying the rest of the cruise, which is such a relief to me, because as I said, as soon as she said infection in the lungs, it just hit home, and it was too close to home, if you know what I mean. And she's an older lady, a little bit older than I am, and she was a little concerned going into the hospital, a strange place, and she was talking a little negative about going in and maybe not come out. And I said, no. There's no not coming out. There's you're just going to go in. They're going to look after you. They're going to get you fixed, and you just stay positive all the way through. I'm a firm believer in staying positive through these things, because if you let yourself get down, that's when bad things happen. And I know it's not easy. Because everyone goes through things differently. Not everyone has a great support system. She had her daughter with her, great support system, and I was there if she needed us. And it's different for everybody, but firm believer in positivity. And so I was so glad she's back on the ship, so glad she's enjoying her cruise, and even talking about more cruises in the future. So there you go. That was a close call for me, and it happens a few times that people have gone to the hospital on the group cruises. And luckily for me, nothing seriously tragic has happened on our trips. It's been hiccups, shall we say. So very glad to report they're doing well on the ship, and we're heading back today to Vancouver after a brief stop in Victoria. Well, I do hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.